So welcome. Well, you're going to be seeing behind the scenes. We're just getting the webinar started for social consciousness. So everyone that's on live, we're just going to get this bad boy wrapping up. So I'm going to be coming here, I'm going to be coming there. So I thought I'll give you guys the first preference. The internet has been shit. I'll warn you about that, but we're going to make it happen. So there is close to about 100 people on this webinar tonight, and it's going to be absolutely huge.
You may now speak to any other organizers or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you.
Alright, so let's get this bad boy happening.
This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast.
Gordon, how are you, buddy? Good to have you on. Alright, how is everybody? Leon, Nathan, and Paul, how are we doing, brothers? How are we doing?
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Awesome stuff. Let's get this bad boy up and running. So just type in if you guys can hear me nice and clear. Yeah, just type in if you guys can hear me nice and clear. Hey, how are you, Nath? Awesome, man. Awesome. Alright, we're just going to get this going. What about you, Gordo? Can you hear me nice? We've got the live stream here, guys. The live stream is doing the behind the scenes. So we thought we'll get a bit of behind the scenes. I won't move it around. We've got everything happening here. As you can see, we've got the cameras. Got everything banging on. So it is all good. Leon, how are you, my friend? And Big PT, Mr. T. Good to have you back up and running, my friend. Awesome stuff. All right, who's excited? Are you guys excited? Are you guys excited? Because I know I'm excited, ready to get this bad boy underway. Hello, Vic. You better not be in your pajamas and all, Vic, because I'll kick your bum if you are. Only kidding. You be in your pajamas if you want. I know that Melbourne weather's pretty shitty. Alright, I'm going to get this recording as well. Awesome. Just trying to get the camera angle happening. Behind the scenes, guys, you stay tuned. And Mr. John Kavanagh. Hope you're doing well. I am doing fantastic. It has been a huge week. I'll let you guys know about the news. I'll let you guys know about the news soon. It's just putting that right energy, instead of coming from force, instead of coming from aggression, instead of coming from anger. It's been a really good place these last few weeks. No worries, Paulie. If it drops out, that's completely up to you, bro. You know what I mean? If you are driving, if you're not, it's completely up to you what result you want. That's what it's about. Organic isogenics coffee. Organic isogenics coffee. Beautiful. All right. Everybody's come on. We have got a huge lineup today. A huge lineup. We've got live stream banging. We've got you guys banging and social consciousness. Hello, Kelly, John, Leon. I'm not going to read out everyone's names because there are so many people on tonight. And we will get this bad boy rocking and rolling very soon. Well, I'm going to press record on him. Let's do that. We've got the live stream going as well. So the whole point of you guys being on, it's a bit of behind the scenes. I'm just going to be going back and forth. And I think this is not my good side, that's my good side. So we're really going to get into this live consciousness. These guys have got the VIP access, which will be getting recorded, and you guys will be getting some really cool stuff sent to your inbox after this. You guys get an opportunity to be part of this social impact changing our environments, changing our governments, changing the land and the planet we live in. So really exciting. Alrighty. So how's everyone? Has everyone had a good day? Firstly, let's just we won't get into it smack bang. How's everyone been feeling? Everyone been cool? You guys been cool? I know I have. Gordon, you're on a bit, so That's all right, you're back. You guys might be in and out a little bit. The internet's been pretty shitty because of the storms. Just keep me accountable. Awesome. Love the video today, Johnny, as well. Loved everyone's video today. Even Kelly, you had a cracker as well. Awesome. Really been good. Awesome stuff. Nath, loving it. Melbourne people, I'm going to be in Melbourne on August the 6th. So let's get together, and that time we're going to be having it's going to be like a bit of a housewarming for Shane. So you know, keep those dates clear, my friends. Lee Lynch, how are you, brother? Hope you're feeling a lot better. I know the retreat was crazy, bro. The integrations, body going through so much, you know. Live stream people sending me their love. Yeah, you know, what you just really need to understand is really after the retreat, a week, normally a week, especially if you haven't done this stuff before, of completely switching off. No training, no thinking, no reading, is just chilling out, you know, movies and looking up at the stars, because there's so much. You guys went through so much, and it's just the beginning. That's the exciting thing about it. I won't be back from LA until the 8th. I'm talking about August. I don't know what time our LA is, because I'm going to be in Melbourne. Awesome, Calgos, can't wait for this. Alright, so let's get started. Live stream, are you ready? Webinars, are you ready? And let's get this bad boy on the road. So, firstly, I want to welcome everyone to, it's Monday the 18th of July, and the reason why I'm holding this effing wake-up call, not just for you, but for everybody, because I'm going to record this, I want to get it out there, is because we, as a collective consciousness, and what that means as a universe, as a human race, we're heading at the pole. And what happens when you focus on the pole? You hit the pole. And Mother Earth and the universe it's giving us a warning, so to speak. Yeah, it's giving us a warning. And the warning is that obviously we're starting to kill each other. The racism from back there, from our subconscious and our old program is coming back from the blacks and whites. Not just that, people are uprising, and there's so many terrorist attacks, what you only hear of. Yeah, there is I'm not going to tell you where you can go and find out where all this stuff's happening, but there is another world happening beneath us and just right in front of us, and we can't see it, and it's actually scary. And I'm not going to bring that to anyone's attention, because I want to protect you guys, and I don't want anyone knowing about that. All right, the other thing is, get prepared for world chaos. Get prepared for massive natural disasters. Yeah, we're putting that much energy, bad energy, and ripples out to the universe. It will affect. There will be earthquakes. There will be tornadoes. There will be storms. You know, the reason why you say, Lee, how do you know this? You know, and you guys are probably freaking out on the live stream as well, is that in the Hindu religion, and not just the Hindu religion, is that, you know, the gods will punish us, and then, you know, through, like, it doesn't matter about like what religion it is, it's starting to happen. I don't watch the news, but look at the warning signs. Look at the warning signs. Look, there is going to be another war. This is not good. The reason why I say this is not good, it is because I could sit here and tell you about the warning signs about what's going on in a social consciousness. I'm not going to get into too much details about what's happening out there. We already know. Watch the news. There's propaganda. There's scaremongering. There's so much bullshit already out there. But what I want to send this message out to all of you, is we need to start somewhere. We need to make a difference, and we need to change the ripple, because the way humans are walking around, the way we interact with one another, we are destroying each other's lives. You know, you can't, there's no hello or even talking and interaction. It's tense, it's tight. You go to a gym, you know, and everyone is just like, oh, I want to grab the weight and that. You almost get in a punch on with people. You walk down the street, people cutting off. You don't know this. People think that's just behavior. Oh, you know, this person's just rude. But it's called a mass impact. It's called a compounding interest. One bad act, another bad act, another bad act, another bad act. And before you know it, you have got a mound of negative energy and negative vibration, not just from you, but from other people. And the people that are on that angry, you know, that violent vibration, you are feeding them around the world. You are feeding these people around the world. Is this making sense? Because when I say a social consciousness, we are all just one. We are all connected to one another. We're connected to the trees, the birds, the sea, the earth, and each human being. That's why when you have an interaction with a person and it's good, you feel it. But if you ain't consciously connected, it will just be numb. But when you have a bad interaction with a person, a human being, you feel that as well, and it doesn't feel good. And we just call that emotion. It's not emotion, it's energy, it's social consciousness. So let's chunk it up now. What is happening in America is just the start of something scary. The governments are forcing us, since the time we come out of our mother, we are set up for failure. Since the time we are being put on this planet, we are set up for failure. We're put into a school system that, okay, well, you know, learning where Captain Cook come from and the history of Napoleon, is that going to put food on the table? Is that going to put money in your pocket? Is that going to put education? It's fucking useless. Oh, well, I'll tell you a story around the campfire. Well done. But how is that going to grow us? How is that going to be, you know, give us businesses? How is that going to give us self-confidence? It's fucking not. What are the tools that we need to function as a leader, to function as a parent, to function as someone, you know, to have that success? You know, why don't they tell you how to save? Why don't they tell you how to invest? It is because it is all strategized to keep us suppressed. Okay? Cal goes, I've seen it happen in Chi-Chi, and I totally agree. You're saying in regards to natural disaster, it's happening. I can feel it whenever I go back there. So true, so true. So they're dumbing us down. And that is true as well. So, guys, I know you're freaking out in the live stream. I know you guys are rocking and rolling. So, what you will understand, if you look back at all the natural disasters, look back, I've been doing a lot of research, look back at what has happened beforehand. What has been going on? Has there been killing? Has there been wars? Has there been bombings? Yes, there has, yeah? And I'm not going to go into specifics and, hey, why, you know, blah, blah, blah. It looks like you're being biased. I just want everyone to have that social awareness about what they're doing, okay? Think about this. In your everyday life now, where you're at, are you having flow, or you been having resistance with people? Because it all starts with us, within us. I know of being a leader and, you know, what I've created. I even know of myself that I have to be careful about what I say and what I do, because it has a lot of power and it has an ongoing ripple effect. And I know me, I've got my heart on my sleeve, yeah? Total domination means, you know, I want to give balance. And you can't force people into change. You can't force people into growth. You need to lead them accordingly. Like the saying what I learnt yesterday. If you want honey, you can't disturb the hive. You don't kick the hive over if you want honey. Of course, what that means, you know, don't go in there and, you know, kick the hive. The bees are going everywhere. You'll get stung. You're not going to be able to get the honey. So if you want honey, then you need to go and obviously cooperate with the bees. And that's like with humans. Humans, and like today's post, are not logical beings. They're emotional. So you need to work with that. You need to work with their emotion so the outcome is to make it logical. And what that means is to get a desired outcome, what you both are looking out for. So it's a win-win negotiation. We taught a little bit of this on the retreat. So I'm saying this for myself because I'm off to the States, and it's still in the works. I'm getting on a talk show, the panel with feminists, talking about what are we doing in uprising with men, and how men need to come into their power, and they need to, you know, ladies, in this huge polarity shift. That huge polarity shift has destroyed marriages, has destroyed relationships, as women having affairs, men having affairs, men committing suicide because the women are uprising and they're in their feminine, they don't feel good enough. And it has caused a shit fight, not just because of the relationships across the world. Across the world. Ladies are stepping in and playing a role which they don't really want to, but they have to fulfill it. Men are being depolarized. They don't feel like they can provide, and it's a huge shift, and it's causing fucking massive ripple effects around the world. But it has been forced. Someone has started this, the higher powers, let's say the federal bank, let's say the Illuminati. They have put this into play is to suppress us so we don't uprise. There have been, I'm going to be very careful what I say here. I'm going to be very careful what I say. Everything about the blacks and whites, it has been strategized, and it hasn't just happened. It has been put into play. The domino has been pushed by a higher power, okay? Everything that you see around the world, you see the bombings in Iraq, you see the bombings around the world. They don't just bomb a little hut, they bomb the whole village. Killing men, women, and kids. most of the time they are helpless victims. So do you think that these people are going to go, well, you just killed us, you just killed our kids, you killed my relations, rah, rah, rah. Do you think they're going to have an uprising, terrorism? That's what they like to call it. So you go to bomb a village. So you don't just bomb that military site, you bomb the whole fucking village and you kill all these people. And then this nationality, this race will go, well, you've just killed my auntie, my uncle, my son, my daughter, boom, 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 boom. I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to come back into your place and I'm going to show you fucking how you feel. Yeah, that's terrorism. An eye for an eye is not right, but that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Let's go into Iraq for, mass destruction. My ass, mass destruction. What weapons are there? The weapon, what they're looking for is called oil. Okay, is this making sense? Awesome. How's everyone going? Boom. It's a systematic form of wars and puppets. So what I want you to have a look at, I can't really remember the name of it. Now I've just gone blind. Now I've gone blank. I shouldn't say blind. I can't remember the name. It was a strategized military operation in America where Americans acted as Cubans and were dressed up as Cubans and shot and killed their own Marines so then America could invade Cuba. I was shown this when I was in Hollywood by a Marine. Okay? So this is the stuff that they're doing around the world that, we're playing puppets to. One thing I will say, we as a collective, we as an advanced race, we as an awoken race, we're not going to force it, but we're going to blend in. Not saying it's okay, because if you force the hand, what's going to happen? If you want honey, you don't kick the hive. Yeah? Just remember this. So what I'm saying with knowing all this knowledge and doing a lot of research and being around people in power and being in Hollywood, it's like this, yeah? You see this much. Hollywood, there's a whole new world. And the deeper you go, the more scary it is. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole, I don't advise it, and I don't advise it to you guys as well because it is quite scary. So on a social scale now, yeah, I'm going to be going back and forth. My head works is the way we can make a change. And what are we doing which is different? If you start with an interaction just with one person, giving light, giving love, giving happiness, yeah, not thinking about you, thinking about them, thinking about how you can uplift them, change it. Yeah, like it's so funny. And he's on today, Claude. He's an awesome bloke from Romania. And he said to me, we're sitting there, and he goes, "Hey man, I just like we're talking about people's structure." And he goes, someone that looks like you with tattoos, a big guy. He goes, I would normally laugh at them because you have a conversation and they're dumb. They're just blah. Not saying that I'm smart, but I said I know so many people put me into a category that I'm some meathead, that I'm some this, I'm some that. Well, I used to be. I wasn't a nice person. I did get up to bad things, and I didn't educate myself. And I said, that's okay. I'm a big boy and I know people's limiting beliefs and limiting perception of me. They're going to think that. The reason why I'm telling you that, and he actually said it was really refreshing. We had a really good conversation, really switched on guy. He's on today, so power to you, brother. Is he on there? Cool. So, how are you, Vicky? So, what was really cool about that is when you connect with people, complete stranger, he's from Romania. And, was speaking in there, and Steve will laugh at this. There's a sauna in Bali at the Sonam. Man, it is a place where you meet so many people. So many people. So I'm going to give you an example about when we talk about a social consciousness. Since I have been in a rediscovery in the last few months, before the retreat, during the retreat, and after the retreat, I've come from a completely different approach, a completely different energy. I've come from a place of love, care, happiness. I did, but I expressed it completely different. I expressed it as force. I expressed it as, come on, man, you need to change, you need to change. People, you can't force them to change. If they do not want to go down the yellow brick road, then don't force them to go to yellow brick road. Lay the yellow brick road and let them step there. Go this way, go that way, don't go that way. And everyone knows how I teach. Everyone knows how I like to lead is through that. So I have been looking at, because I want to take everything to the next level. So I've been manifesting on a social level. I've been putting it out there. The people that have come into my life recently, I've got my PR from America that's getting me involved with a movie, getting me involved with a talk show, getting me involved with this. When I say me, it's beast mode, but predominantly he's talking to me. Steve was there, and and Gordon as well. Then two amazing souls from Bali, these business people are coming through, and I'm like, hold on a second, this is too good to be true. What do you guys want? What do you guys want? And they said, you're putting out an energy, you're putting out an attitude, and these guys have run billion-dollar companies. Not one, $4 billion companies. They've retired 3 times, and they've been traveling for 14 months. Well, that's not a bad life. And Steve can vouch for this. Oh, there he goes, the Soho magnet for connecting with the evolved. So true. And we're having a big business meeting, and the way these souls were educating me about business, I'm like, hold on a second. Are these guys going to just spring out and give me a big bill? Why I'm telling you this, and again, I've been connected to an amazing coach in America and Texas, and I've also been connected to Ryan Struman. Go and check him out, Hardcore Closer. And these are all celebrity figures, but they've all contacted me. They've all come into my life, and they've all said, hey man, I've been seeing what you're doing, rah, 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 yeah, I know your missus and this, and they've all come into my life. Is because that is a different consciousness. It's a consciousness of growth. It's a consciousness of expansion. It's a consciousness of wanting to better yourself. And I've been putting that in my SPs. I've been putting that in my manifestations. And the reason why I tell you this, I don't want to bore you about my personal endeavors. It's about consciousness. So if we put a consciousness out of love and respect and forgiveness and flow and change and abundance, what do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? I want you guys to answer this. If you're putting that out, what do you think's going to happen around you? Who are you going to attract? Isogenics, organic coffee. Okay, don't forget that, guys. Come on, answer. Come on, we've got so many people on the line. There's like about 80 people. What do you think's going to happen? Quality people, of course, and that they respect back. Awesome, Claude. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Sexy people, that as well, man. I tell you what, putting it out. You love yourself, men and women, and if you're single, obviously I want to talk about the single people. Watch what comes into your life. If you walk around, oh, I'm top shit and that, you're going to get more top shit people. It's simple. Negative energy, negative people. That's it. Everything you need that you require, the ripple effect globally. Yep, stop showing the coffee. Stop showing the coffee, I have to get mine. I've made some for you, mate, downstairs. Awesome. Really good responses. So, why I'm saying this and why I'm holding this, I was going to say retreat. I've got retreat on my mind, man. Why I'm holding this webinar is, in our own environments, in our home environment, especially our wives, our husbands, obviously because there's ladies on there, our kids, we can socially, consciously change how they not by what we say, by what we do, and by the energy we put out. People don't care what you say, they remember what you do. Yeah, it is simple. They remember what you do. And I'm going to go a little bit off track now. So I know a lot of coaches, people say life coaches out there that say they want to live this life of balance, total domination, of health, wealth, life purpose, family contribution, relationship, passion, enjoyment. And they're overweight, they smoke, they drink way too much, they eat shit food, they're lazy, they don't practice what they preach. But the thing is, people don't need to say it. Someone that's evolved, that is intuitive with energy, can see it. You can see it. Not when the person's there, you can see it. If you're going to give that out, if you're going to be, and you know why? The reason why I'm saying this, because someone that has higher consciousness awareness, someone that's more awoken can sniff someone out. Before you even open your mouth, they know what you're thinking. Before you even see that, you can even see someone's skills, the way they hold themselves, how they're standing. Obviously, if they've got a pot or if they're overweight, then that's different. So why I'm saying this is because I know there's a lot of inspiring coaches. I know there's a lot of inspiring entrepreneurs on the live stream as well. You cannot fake it. You cannot fake it. If you say, well, I'm spiritual and I'm this and I'm that, you're not fake it. Be honest to who you are. If you're a work in progress, I always say I'm a work in progress. I always fuck up. Yeah, there's times I don't do my SP. There's times I'll be weak and I get snapped. There's times I don't do this. But the reason why I'm saying all this to everybody, because it's an awareness. a social conscious awareness. Let's take it back to a global level now. So you've looked at it, you know, people coming into your environment, how you can change them by what you do. Yeah? I'll give you an example, and he's on here, the White Knight, Lee Lynch. And I don't piss in anyone's pocket. He's the most humble. He's a good-looking guy. He's got the body to die for. He's got a perfect wife. He's got a beautiful daughter, and he's a pilot. Yeah, he doesn't see this. Maybe he might now after the retreat, but that is inspiring. Yeah, and every guy that's on here is inspiring as well. But the reason why I like to give Lee the homage because he deserves it. I want him to be consciously aware of it more because he has got that, and I want you to actually accept it, brother, and appreciate it more what you've got. So how he consciously inspires people, he's not spiteful, he doesn't lose his temper, he seems like he's always conditioned, he's always on the ball, boom, 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 boom. That, he doesn't even have to open his mouth. He walks into a room and he's consciously changing people even without opening his mouth. And all the brothers will understand this, yeah? Awesome, the White Knight. Cal goes, he's amazing. He is a great leader. Love the meaning, boom, boom, boom. Awesome. So that's, you know, and the reason why I say that is that everyone is on here is special. Everyone on here, and I'm not saying that if you weren't special, I wouldn't say that you're special. So everyone that's on the live stream as well, everyone's special in their own ways. But the reason why I'm paying homage to Lee is that I learn a lot from him. I learn a lot from all the boys, but you know, he was someone that was always calm. He was someone that's polite. He's someone that's, you know, he put other people before himself. And it wasn't because he wants to get anything back, it's because he is consciously aware and consciously evolved that, you know, it's not about proving who's the best. So why I'm using that example is that learn from it. You can go into an environment from the way you are, the way you interact, the time that you give people, yeah? If, you know, you obviously... Everyone's going to be having, you know, and I know if everyone keeps going down this path, everyone is going to have a celebrity status. You are in isogenics, in your own businesses, and it's already happening. You know, Steve couldn't handle it at celebration. He was just like, why do people want to speak to me? I said, bro, you're inspiring them. So this is in our environment. It's in our network marketing company. It's in beast mode. It's in our little environment here and there. It's in our families. So how can we get this out to the masses? How can we get this out to the masses? The way we can get this out to the masses is, firstly, we can uprise together. Obviously, media, social media, obviously the news and stuff, you know, and we can start educating people by there doesn't need to be any hate. There doesn't need to be any racism. There doesn't need to be this bullshit going on because all it is power mongering. All it is control. All it is strategize anger and hate. Because what happens? I'm going to tell you a secret. When we're focusing on the blacks and whites killing each other, when we're focusing some guy running people down with a truck, we're forgetting about what's really going on. Sorry, ladies, I didn't mean to be rude, but that's what's happening. We're forgetting about what's really going on. And what's really going on is that we are getting controlled like puppets. The higher power, the federal bank. Yeah, I'm not going to even get into that. I'm not going to even get too deep into that. Yeah, the governments, and they say we have our back and the rest of that. They give us a little bit here and there. They will cause, you know, catastrophe. They will cause these issues, these racism, these acts of violence and war. And we focus on that and we forget what's happening here. This is where we need to not focus on, because what happens? Remember, what you focus on, what happens? It expands. So these killings go out, they go to America, someone watches them, they go, well, I focus on that. Yeah, boom. Someone else gets a gun, sniper, boom, 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 starts popping people. We, unfortunately, even knowing this, and tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Do you feel being white or black, unconsciously because of the programming, you're starting to have that resistance? Like, oh, well, the blacks are doing this, and, you know, unconsciously, like, hold on, I'm starting to hate blacks. Or if you're black and you're starting to, you know, hold on a second, these white rednecks. We are getting conditioned and programmed. That's why it's called programming. It is called programming. Hey, Naif, how are you, brother? Good to have you on. So that is what's happening. We are getting conditioned, because I was sitting there the other day and I'm going, I did a video obviously for my PR, and I'm thinking about, I was the one, the whites of the, I've seen it in America. I'll tell you guys a story as well, what happened to me. And I remember the whites are coming, the whites have had that racism, that even from, it's been in their DNA from thousands of years ago. Whites are supremacists and blacks. You go there, trust me, the whites still think that the blacks are trash, that they should be, it's bad, especially the higher class. It's not cool. So we are getting controlled. So this is happening, yeah? We're not racist, but they're programming us to be racist. Do you know what I mean? The shit that's going on, you don't know the truth about terrorism. You don't know the truth about Islam. You don't know that America goes and bombs a whole village, kills people, and then the lady's holding there and the kid's blown in half, and the kid's like charcoal because of the bomb. Or if you go and see, that I've seen through my friends that are, back in Melbourne, you go to these Islamic groups and you see hidden cameras and you see the Americans off their face with heavy metal music, and you can see it. There's a camera there and there's a boy and a girl. They wouldn't be over 12 years old, and they're behind a car and they're trying to shoot them. Anyway, they run, boom, boom, boom. One blows the head off, boom, boom, boom. 12-year-old children. So do you think that there's going to be a little bit of retaliation? Do we see that on the news? No, we fucking don't. Why? Because they want us to focus and then to start to blame and put ourselves and program us as soldiers and pawns for a higher purpose. Yeah? So that's what I'm saying. This black and white shit, without even knowing, we are starting to become racist because, oh, look, they've done this and they've done that. Is this making sense? So what you see on the news without you even knowing, you will I'll tell you something. If you start watching the news, yeah, or you start watching a team or a sport, and you keep seeing the headlines, you will want to watch those headlines. So some sport, like I'll tell you how I know this. I don't like soccer, yeah, but over the World Cup, or when I see soccer used to be on there, and there was highlights of Manchester United, Manchester United, Manchester United, Manchester United, boom, boom. I don't like soccer. But because my mind was getting programmed, I was watching it, I think it's boring, I was getting addicted to watch it, the highlights, I was drawn to it. What do we see on the newspaper? Bad news. What do we see on the news? Bad news. So what happens? They're very good at making stories up. They're very good at making someone look stupid. But we don't know both sides, so they're programming us for hate. They're programming us for war. They're programming us to be the pawns, to do their dirty work. That's it, to do their dirty work. And we need to have social consciousness, and it starts from us, then one person, then two, then three, then four, then five, then 67. Just get it out there. And the way we're going to do that, social media is an amazing outreach. It's an amazing outreach. You can put, what we're doing here now, like there's people on live stream, there's 80 people on the webinar. And I really appreciate everyone's time, by the way. And what we need to understand is, if we keep focusing on that, someone was messaging me today and they were telling me they were going for a bit of shit, and, there was this person that was sending this stuff. Just love them. Just say, hey, look, I don't even want to get into that. It's finished. It's gone. Send love to people. Because if you're talking to a dickhead, you got two dickheads talking, yeah? And then, you don't know, and it's anger, and someone else wants to get involved, and before you know it, it's just a catastrophe, and it's just fucking ridiculous, yeah? Even to the point, sometimes people not even arguing, they get in a fucking fight. I've seen this. Someone gets hit, they hit their head, and they're dead over nothing. Someone's life is cut short over nothing. Or in America now, you see this, an argument, they've got guns, so they start shooting people over nothing. And this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus of why I'm holding the webinar. This is why I'm holding this. Media fees all racism, bro. Creates and shows of what you want. That is so true. So I'm gonna tell you where this is the uprising right here. We have forgot how to communicate with each other. We have forgot how to uplift each other, how to communicate, how to express ourselves without getting angry and without getting forced, not letting our insecurities come in the way, or our low confidence. So, you meet someone and it's easy to be rude. It's easy to be stuck up. It's easy to just to be like that because that's keeping you in your comfort zone, because you've got all this other insecurities, bullshit ego that, you can't be like that. Like Claude that was on today. Where is he? Boom, there he is. So Claude that was today, that we met today. There was no ego. I was talking to Maya, my yoga teacher. She was in the sauna with me. And we're sitting there. And I remember, and I said, do you mind if I put some hot water on? You know, I could have been rude and just put hot water on. I said, hey, bro, do you mind if I put some hot water on? I was in the sauna longer than him. He goes, no, that's fine, man, that's fine. And that broke the ice. And then we started talking, yeah? And it was just like, because sometimes, you know, you don't want to go, hey, man, he might just want to chill out. But we started talking, you know, we were telling each other what we did and, you know, where we've come from and the background and this and that. We've got each other's number. He's in Bali and we're going to catch up for dinner tonight. And it's fantastic. That is the human fucking spirit. Not, well, look at me and well, I've got this and wank, wank, wank and rah, rah, rah and, you know, well, fuck that man and blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. That is ego. And I'll be honest, you know how much better I feel with empowering someone, making friends with someone, you know? And I just said to him at the end, I said, hey, bro, if you need anything, let me know. And he's a complete stranger. Or not now, but, you know, he was. That filled my heart full of warmth. That filled my heart full of joy. Not having conflict, not having fucking fights, you know? So what I say to you is, what I challenge you, start communicating with people. Start communicating. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody that you're going to communicate with, that you're going to be, it's going to be easy, it's going to be effortless. Some people are just dickheads. Yeah, but you can still break that down. We're learning, especially the people that have come through my programs, we're learning how to be masters of influence, yeah? So for the people that haven't seen what we do, and if you want to know, send me an inbox. I can show you, you know, like the people that have been on the retreats and all the other services that we've got, because there's so many other people on here. And if you want to be a communicator, if you want to be a leader, if you want to take your life to the next level, you need to be a master of influence, and not influence people to get what you want, but to influence people to get what they want. A leader puts people in front of them, yeah? To the point when I put people that in front of me, I got myself sick because it was drain. And now, I'll tell you something. What's exciting is that I have been focusing on up-leveling, because if I don't keep evolving, we don't evolve. We don't consciously evolve. Let's look at that another way. If we don't consciously evolve, the world doesn't consciously evolve. Make sense? Beast mode, the tribe, my community is hundreds of thousands. Yeah, not hundreds and thousands, but hundreds or thousands. Not hundreds and thousands. It will be soon. Million. I'm going to impact 1 million lives by 2018. All right, you guys can hold me to that. So, just making sure everyone can hear me good. Just had a massive pop moment after the retreat. It stems back to the Federal Reserve Bank. You have to talk to me more about that. You make a lot of sense. It's why I don't watch the news anymore. It's shocking. Cool. Social media, internet. Yep. Awesome. Without ego, we grow not only ourselves, but the people around us. Champions. It's done. We stuck at the same vibration and we don't evolve. Perfect. Awesome stuff. So, now I forgot what I was going to say. That's right. So, if you're looking at, so, my tribe, my environment, where, you know, and when I say mine, because I created it, but let's say ours, all right, you know, beast mode tribe, but I'm talking about a singular, yeah? So when I say me, it starts with me, but we've got the brotherhood. So if I'm evolving, am I being consciously aware by educating myself? And what I've attracted these high-class individuals that are wanting to come and join to uplift us. But it doesn't stop there. Steve's been with me. My energy has uplifted him. You can't teach that, and he's growing so many ways that he's probably not even noticing. And I know when I'm like, oh, we have to do this and boom, boom, boom. I know that actually he doesn't like that, and it really starts to scatter people. It's like, if you want honey, don't kick the hive. And I'm going to be using this. I think I'm going to get that tattoo. So what I'm saying is, the more we ripple, the more we become conscious, not just in our own environment, but on a social scale, we are going to impact lives. So I know everyone's got their own projects. I know everyone's got their own empires. What I say to you is, do not just run it like a business. Run it like a business, but run it on a social impact. Run it on a social impact. One thing that I'm going to take it, and I'm sure, and I've had resistance with this, is taking success priming into a daily habitual habit. How people brush their teeth, drink coffee, you know, scratch their ass in the morning, putting SP in there. Can you imagine that? Putting your SP in there by getting up, visualizing, focusing on your goals, becoming your goals, doing your inner work, visualizing, doing that, and then acting upon it throughout the day. There will be an uprising. We will be awoken. And trust me, the higher powers, the federal bank, will not let that happen. Yeah? Sorry, it's thirsty. So, this is the challenge from everyone that's on here. I want you to evolve. I want you to grow. But the thing is, you need to know why you're evolving. You need to know why you want that social impact, why you want to help others. You get your message across. And this is the key. How are you going to get your message across to others? And why do we want to help? Don't trust me. We don't want to help everybody. You know, I put up my live stream. It's got 15,000 views, over 100 likes, blah, 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 whatever. But I've got people writing abusive stuff. That's okay. The message wasn't for them. Thank you for telling me you're not the right person. Simple. I don't take it to heart. I used to take it to heart. I just say, okay, it's not for you. Thank you, delete, block, see you later. And that's fine. The way a person reacts is, remember, the universe and how we act and how we feel with someone is a perfect filter. Don't get me wrong. When people first meet, because people aren't being themselves and don't express themselves, they're not really who they are because of their shyness, low confidence, insecurities, ego, whatever. So you don't make a match. But you know if someone where they're at, and you know you can feel them out through energy. You feel it. So when you're putting stuff out, don't get discouraged if your dreams, your visions, your hopes aren't going to impact, and not everyone's going to see it. You just don't waste your energy. Yes, you can win people around. Yes, if you want to put work into people. I understand that, because some people will see me like Claude could have easily saw me and I know that he didn't approach me like, well, this guy, he's big, he's got tattoos, rah, 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 but when we spoke, his guards went down. I didn't have a guard, but people see that. So what I want to say is, I want everybody to start not just thinking about themselves, not just thinking about their families, by putting messages out into a social aspect, into the public. I want you to start expressing from your heart, giving hope, giving love. Because if we can do it, just a small group of 80 to 100 people, what about the people that we impact? Yeah, and you plant the seed in their mind, and then they do it, then they do it, then they do it. Because the world, the earth needs more love. It needs more correct energy. Because, trust me, as you've seen that, there will be catastrophe, there will be chaos. And there will be world destruction. It's happening already. Start to look at what's going on. You hear about earthquakes, you hear about this, and they don't talk about it. Like, look what happened in Bali. Yeah, there was a little earthquake and there was tidal waves. People try to hush it under. The beach is just down the road. So these aren't just natural effects. Have a look at them. They're too much of a coincidence. Something big happens between us, humans. We ripple that, and then look at what, you don't see that. Well, there's an earthquake. Well, there's this, there's that. There's fucking tornadoes. There's a storm. We don't hear about it, and it's too much of a coincidence. There's things that I'm not going to get you guys to look and go deeper, but there's people that will match a human interaction or human warfare or human attack of violence and anger and evil. Then what the ripple effect is, a human disaster, a natural disaster. It's not a natural disaster. We're causing it. Yeah, as in the Bible, I'm not religious, they say, and Moses wanted to drown the earth and blah, 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 Noah's Ark. That stuff, look, the story, I'm not going to put much energy into it, but what I'm saying is that what's happening around us, just even having an interaction with one other person, you're sending so much positive energy. You just don't know by speaking to that person how much of a bad state they're in. Yeah, people don't know. Like we went to eat at a restaurant before, and there's people there, there's people there, there's people there. Everyone's just like that in their own little world, and you can see that it's like a bubble at that table, at that table, at that table. We're all fucking humans. I've seen people like smile like that, and they're gonna take my handbag. It's stupid. Because we aren't fucking aliens. We aren't different animals. We're the same race. We're human beings. And that is bad. If that's happening in a small environment at a cafe, what imagine in the world? Do you know what I mean? And that's why, why social and sporting events are so good? Because people come together. Think about this. I want you to think about something. Awesome, everyone. I'm loving the responses. Thank you. I want to read them out in a moment. Okay, you've watched your team play, but what you don't realize, and I've been doing a lot of research on this, you don't just leave a game, especially after your team wins, because they won and the energy. You leave because of the energy of a collective consciousness. You go into a football game, so just saying, obviously Australian AFL game, and I barrack for Collingwood, so there's normally 80,000 to 100,000 fans, and they're not all the same. But everyone is on the same wavelength. Everyone is on the same vibration to a point, yeah? Some people are, especially Collingwood supporters, are freaks. You know, people go, you can't be a Collingwood supporter, you've got all your teeth. But another story. So what I'm going to say is, how do you feel? Can they feel alive? And, you know, afterwards, do you think that people can express themselves more? Do you think that people can go up to one another and say, hey, how you going? And yeah, we won. And they give hugs and, you know, all that. It's like someone wins the World Cup. Strangers are loving each other. But you know why that happens? Because it's not the sport. The sport does bring people together, but because people are on a higher consciousness and vibration. So that's why it is so good for us. Is this making sense to you guys? Kavanaugh goes, Collingwood. So when you go to a sporting game, it's not because your team won. When you go to a game, everyone's sort of like, ooh, like strangers, and well, I don't know if we're going to sit there. It isn't easy. It's not comfortable. But once you leave the game or throughout the game, you know, you're giving high fives to strangers, you're hugging each other. Yes, the game gets you into that, and you've got a similar interest. But what people aren't understanding, you're putting yourself in that higher consciousness. So what about? Sorry, I've just been bitten by a mozzie. So what about if we could find something like a sport, like a similar interest, that we could put out to the world, that we all could be like that, hey, how you going? You know, yeah, bang, bang, bang. Instead of fucking boom, 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 bang, bang, bang. True? So that's what my message is to everyone today. If we can find a common ground, if we can find something like a sporting event or a concert where people can come through the energy, through the vibration, through a football team or whatever it is, to bring people as one, bring people as unity, then we're going down the right path. Is this making sense to everybody? Cool. Hammerhead nail. Thanks, Damo. So I'll give you a secret as well. Through my brotherhood that I've created, I've been involved in a lot of bad brotherhoods, you know, and so on, just being around the wrong groups and stuff. But what I'm saying is, as a collective, we've got a place where people come together and we lock arms. We feel comfortable, like the stuff that we share on our retreats, grown men sharing, and everyone that's been on the retreat that's, you know, known that, you know, you think like, fuck, I'd never ever think that I'd share that with another man. But it's so amazing that you see men grow, you see men cry, you see men, you know, get broken and then get reborn, and you see the support. That's what we're talking about. If we do it in a small environment, in a small social scale, let's explode it. Let's get it across the world. Let's get it out to the people that need it. And that's what we're about. None of this bullshit and all this bad energy and that. No, don't get me wrong. It's a work in progress, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Even me being the leader is, I know that I've held myself and I've said the wrong things and, you know, gotten angry and done this. And then I said that, and you know, you can't keep focusing on that. You look at a way to move yourself completely away from that and grow. But that's what I'm saying, is empower people through your message and keep going. Because people, this is a key here. There's a lot of people that are becoming entrepreneurs, that are starting their tribes, that are starting the new businesses, that are wanting to get out of their old environment, you know, past stuff that's really, really, you know, me and Nath had a really good talk. Nathan Training actually, and obviously Nathan Wilburn, you know, everybody that's had that past. But there's a lot of years of the wrong conditioning. There's a lot of years of heartache. There's a lot of years of lies, disheartened, a lot of years of bullshit. There's layers. So when you're putting your message out, or when you're starting a business, or when you're expressing yourself with your mission statement, it's going to take a while, for one thing, for you to believe it and for others to believe in you. I'll say that again. It will take a while for you to believe your own path and your own mission statement, and then for others to believe in you. So don't get discouraged. It's because, firstly, people are going to know, who's this person? Where did you come from? What do you do? And you keep doing it. You find another way to communicate, to get it out. You find another way. You don't just keep doing the same, because as humans, we become habitual habits. We get bored with that. So you change it up. Yeah? So with everyone that wants to leave their 9 to 5, or starting a new job, that wants to get out of their old environment, don't go back there. Do something completely different, but it will take time. The stronger your message, the harder your work. Obviously, the quicker you will believe in it, and the quicker people will believe in you. Yeah? The way you get yourself out there. Think about human psychology. Think about it. most people like things in bright, shiny letters, yeah, or bright, they like sparkly things, especially women, like diamonds. So the more you can get yourself out there, the more you can get. It's like public or social acceptance is, and this is all comes down to consciousness. So, do you think that a celebrity will get a higher consciousness or social consciousness? The reason why they do, because people look at them in a different light. They think that they're, someone, God, but they're not. They're just a human being that we put up on a pedestal, and we get programmed to think that they're someone different. But we can use that in our favor to get our message across. That, a person of importance, a person of a social level. But what it comes down to, don't fake it, like they say, fake it till you make it. Start from where you are now. Keep putting your message out and stay strong to it. Do not change your awareness or your consciousness for anybody. When I mean a consciousness, your consciousness is what you're talking to, what you're talking from your heart, what your message is, what you're passionate about. Yeah, look, if you're doing a job that you're passionate about, I know a lot of people are, then that's fantastic. And that's something that that's something that you work for years. But if you're going, hey, I want to improve the world. I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own people. I want to own my own empire. The way you express yourself, and it all comes down to social consciousness, is, do you think that people need to be socially consciously aware of what you're doing? Of course they are. How's everyone going? Cool. Complete sense. Awesome stuff. Boom. Keep saying what is the truth. People will find their way eventually. That's so true. So what I'm saying is, people out there and people here, is you need to bring people's awareness and consciousness towards you, so they can be consciously connected towards your message, towards your life purpose, towards your reason why. And the way you're going to do that is show up with an artistic flow, show up with energy, show up with leadership, show up with vision, but all the time. Don't overdo it because people don't want to see that. And remember, if you give people too much, they will walk all over you. Yeah, so you want to be able to pull back and be smart with that. Again, if you want honey, don't kick over the hive. Go in there, do what you need to do, make sure that the bees are asleep, or you just, do what you need to do, and then you get the honey, get whatever you want. Not saying you go and manipulate people, but you need to work it. And that's what I'm coming back to. We are suppressed. There is a higher power. Work the system that is going to benefit you. Do not force it. Because what happens? Resistance, you get more resistance. Yeah, it cancels each other out. So work the system that is going to benefit you. Work the situation, flexibility, as the VIPs know. Decide and commit on where you want to go, why you want to go. Let it fill up your heart. Be flexible. Be like a chameleon. Be flexible. Okay, this doesn't work. Because if you try to be like a bull in a china shop, eventually people will just break away and it gets draining. And then take smart, massive action. And what that means, smart, massive action, is doing a little bit and getting a return. This is successful people. Life seems easy because they do efficient work. They program their mind. They get their message off. They're socially consciousness. So I want to tell you a secret. And this could be, we can end the webinar now. The people that change a lot of lives, Tony Robbins, Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, Oprah, all the other people, whoever you're into, do you think that the social consciousness or their social consciousness and their own consciousness is very connected? Why I say this? Socially, they're well known. Socially, they're respected. Socially, they're connected. And their message, so what they're doing is, and this is what it's about. It's not about celebrity figures. It's not about doing that. It's about a whole awareness. Are you guys understanding this? It's a whole consciousness. Consciously, everyone knows Tony Robbins. Consciously, everyone knows Oprah. Consciously, everyone knows the Dalai Lama. Consciously, everyone knew Mother Teresa. So, what that is, that's just not someone, it's marketing. No, it's way above marketing. They have got there by their daily acts, by just 1 act, 2 acts, 3 acts, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, blah, 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 million. That is consciousness. That is social consciousness, yeah? So that is what I'm saying to you. If you want to be a person of massive influence, if you want to make a difference in this world, we need to be givers. We need to be on a social level that people socially are conscious of what we are, of what we're doing, of what we're bringing into this world. Is this making sense? Yeah, keep going with the momentum. Get me to the retreat now. Grant Cardone. Yeah, Grant Cardone. Like I said, I met him. I would say that he's getting to a certain point. Awesome. So that's the difference. That's the difference about getting your name out, or that's the difference about connecting to people's souls, connecting to people's consciousness. You know, walking into an environment and just being who you are, but because you're radiating that energy and the interaction, you can either just like look at somebody and say, "How you going?" or people over the desk, or just something small. You think that's just being polite? No, that is giving people's consciousness of who you are. If you're a dickhead, and consciously people are going to they're going to know that you're there, but it's not going to serve you or serve others. But if you're someone that is, puts out that positive ripple, that puts out that energy, that puts out that love, you are going to be consciously connected, because we're always connected. I'm going to break it down for you now. We're connected to everyone. You know that someone else is there. And, let's think of it that way. If you're going to, just say, a change room, yeah, and you've got strangers there, people are there, and you might get a funny feeling, this guy's really snobby, or this guy's friendly, or this guy's, there's a bit weird, but you're consciously aware of them. But because of the way they're being and the connection, sometimes it might be flow, sometimes there'll be resistance, sometimes it might be a little bit, scattered. But we know we are consciously connected. But that's why people don't understand. They just think that the other humans are there. No, we're consciously aware. So if someone goes and does something, we want to be drawn, we want to see it. Oh, what's that? And, and you like magnetized to it. That's because we're all one. We're connected to one, and one is connected to all of us. So to improve the world, to improve our environments, to improve just another soul, you know what to do. Get your message out. Use the right tools. Use the right platforms. Express yourself as a leader. The women know what, is the ideal of woman. Like, that's around about. Be just who you want to be. There's no point of the body shape or the rest. It's the same with men. Obviously the man is, some big guy and whatever. If you like going to the gym because you like keeping fit, then go to the gym, yeah? Don't do it because you're very insecure inside. You just want to get big, how I used to be. Do it because it uplifts you. Do it because you feel confident. Do it because it gives you energy. If you want to be a person of influence and wealth, don't just, I want to get nice things so then I can stick it up everyone's ass who said I couldn't make it. No. Help people get what they want, and you'll get everything you want without even thinking about it. If you ever come and say, I'm going to do this because I know what I'm going to get back in return, you are on a completely different, and consciously, people will know. Consciously, people will know. Even the way I talk to people on the phone, I'll just say, hey, I'm here to help you. There's steps, there is a path to follow. Are you willing to take that path? Because if you step away from that path, if you veer off the path, it's not going to be efficient. Yeah, you might get the goal eventually, but not. The reason why I'm saying this, because I've been here, I've done that, and it's up to you. If you don't make a match, that's fantastic. Consciously, and then, let's just stay friends. But if this is something that you want to learn, it's proven, it's changed my life. I teach from my own results. It's changed other people's lives. So I'm not trying to sell you into anything. I prefer, if you think I'm selling you, I prefer, that you don't come on board. And consciously, people are going, fuck, man, like that's congruent. That's what it is. There's no techniques. There's no NLP. It's just say that. And I say, listen, look, I'd love to speak to you, but I'm very busy. And honestly, we're going around in circles. You're either in or out. Yeah. And if you're in, fantastic. Let's do it. If you're out, then go and find something that makes more of a match. And consciously, you're consciously connected to what you're talking about, and the person that's around you or who you're leading is really consciously about, hold on a second, and they actually know on a conscious level if they're self-sabotaging themselves because they go away and it actually doesn't feel good, yeah? Or if they do something, they get excited. You know what I'm saying? Cool. How are we all rocking and rolling? We all good? So there was all different ways, because I wanted the teachings to be applicable for the people that are growing and having the interactions with one another. And it comes down to communicating. It comes down to being able to communicate, yeah? So I'm going to give you an example. Awesome stuff. So in America, when I went there, there's a place called the Grange. It's in Hollywood. It's quite a high class sort of open mall where all the shops face in. And I'm in my jeans, like what I wore at the celebration day, my Jordans, a nice top, and other clients and so on. And I see this ranger, yeah, he's typical sort of, you can tell like a college jock, you know, he looks like a chubby dude, he must be a weightlifter or something. And he's looking at me, and I'm there, like I'm at the front of this shop, I think it was Versace or something, because I was using the Wi-Fi. And here I've got bags, I've got a lot of bags. So obviously, you know, I'm not some druggie, I've done shopping, so I had about 6 bags. And I'm dressed decent. And he's like looking at me, and straight away before he comes, so the attention that he was giving me, so consciously I was aware that things weren't right. And, you know, especially with my energy and what I've been doing, you know, all the work I've done on myself, I'm very intuitive in that way. So anyway, I'm like looking at him. Sometimes, he might have thought I was good looking. He's, you know, it could be, you know, a gay guy or whatever. You know, you get girls that are like that as well. But you know, if it's, you know, it was more to it. So anyway, I walked out of like where there was like a little alleyway, and I went next to there was a big fountain. So I plonked myself on the fountain, I'm leaning over, I've got my bags there, and I was talking to a few people that were next to me, and I had some sushi, and it was a Japanese place that I was getting some food. And the guy, he actually came over, we were talking about business because he was loving what I do. He was an American Japanese guy, very, very switched on dude. Awesome interaction, awesome consciousness. So then all of a sudden, the guy comes over with 2 coppers. And I'm on my phone, and the 2 coppers come. America, white coppers, conditioning, consciousness, well, I wouldn't really say it was very in sync. And this is what's going on, yeah? And this is what I'm talking about, communication. So, and I'll tell you what I did. I went with the wrong communication, then I brought it back. So they came over and they said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Yeah, I'm just on the phone." They said, "No, put your phone there." And the guy went to grab my phone. I said, "Hey, what are you doing there?" I'm like, "Why have you come into my space? Like, I'm here, I'm doing work, I'm making voicemails, you can have a look." "Well, a suspicious activity." I said, hey, hold on a second. Because you have a badge and you can actually think that you can say I'm doing suspicious activity, on what grounds? So you've offended me and purposely attacked me, and so I went to move forward, and they stopped my forward movement. I've done bodyguard work, and I've done that. I know that, you know, the rights. If you move someone's forward motion, you've arrested them. So you've just done a citizen's arrest. You've actually just arrested me. "Oh no, sir, we want to hold on a second. You have just taken my freedom away from me. You both stood there. You got this little muppet that's standing there, and you're standing there." And I said, "Hey," move the fuck out of the way. So this is where the communication breakdown. And then he said to me, he goes, "Hey," I said, "Hey man, I'm making it." Then I went to move, and they started getting, boom. He put his hands on his gun. What happens if he grabbed his gun and just shot me from forward movement, which they have been doing it? So this is when my consciousness kicked in. How's everyone going? Cool. So this is when my consciousness kicked in. I said, hey. I said, "Hold on a second, man. Check my phone, what I'm doing. I'm a coach. I'm a leadership coach. I'm Australian as well. Don't get my tattoos mixed up and my size and my appearance and that." And I said, "Just chill the fuck out. Why do you need to grab your gun for? Why are you telling me about grabbing your gun? Have I threatened you in any way?" I said, "You just need to chill the fuck up and get yourself educated." And they're like, "What?" I said, "So you've got this little muppet that thinks I'm there." I said, "Mate, if you want to check my bank account or check my wallet, I'm not some drug dealer." I said, "Look, I'm doing work while I'm here, mate. So I empower people, I change people's lives. So you've made a big mistake. So get your hand off your gun. You're making a fool of yourself, and move the fuck away and let me enjoy my day." Yeah? And as I've done that, 50 people have just started clapping. 50 people have just started clapping. I said, "You really need to get educated because you've just grabbed your gun. You've made a scene over nothing. Over nothing." So can you think about it? Can you guys think about if I just went with aggression, grabbed his gun and went to move, he was moving forward, bang, bang. Can you imagine that? And it was a fine line. It was a fine line between communicating ego, wanting to fucking prove myself, or sitting down, be consciously aware of what's the fuck's going on, and using the tools and saying, "Hold on a second, I'm just going to educate you, and I'm going to tie your little brain in a knot." And it was there. And what happened was, one of the cops come to me later with the sergeant, and he apologized. I said, "Bro, you need to get educated, man." So the reason why I'm telling you this story, is everyone still there? Can everyone hear me? Just want to double check that you guys are still here. Everyone that's still there as well? Cool. So why I shared this story with you is, if you ever come in there, and that's got to do with consciousness, it's not got to do with reaction, it's got to do with the consciousness of what's going on. The people that are standing in front of me, they aren't consciously connected or consciously aware of the person who I are. So I had to quickly educate them the sort of person I was without escalating it, without ego getting involved, without anger. And the old me would have been easy, would have been easy before. If someone, if a cop grabbed his gun, I won't tell you what would happen. So that is just what I'm teaching you about, is being consciously aware, firstly, of your environment for contextual reasons, for people. So, people are going to be like that. Don't go in there and say, well, I'm going to consciously change them. No. What I'm saying is be very consciously aware of where you're going, what's going around, and just knowing just before it happens. It gives you that understanding. It was very good when I used to do bodyguard work. I'll know what's going on, who's around you, and so on. Okay? That's just a little bit of protection stuff. But take it to a whole new level. Take this to a whole new level. What we need to understand is that can start, because you know what happens? Even in business, we see this big picture. I want an empire, I want to make millions, I want to change millions of lives, rah, rah, rah. But you don't start. People forget about the first step. They want to go whoop and start here. And they get overwhelmed. And what happens? They get overwhelmed and they stop. Start with the first step. Start with yourself. Empower yourself. Be consciously aware of yourself. Help other people. Set that out there. Educate them. Because if you piss someone else off, they're pissed off. And they'll piss someone else off. And they piss someone else off and so on. But if you empower them, they're more likely to empower someone else. And the ripple effect. So, as everyone that's on today, the 80 people and the people that are on live stream, and we can record this, we can share it out. What I challenge everybody to do is get your message out of love, peace, happiness, abundance, empowerment, and get out there and don't just put a message out. Educate people why you're putting the message out. They don't know about the how and the what, because you can be talking about something and people don't know what. I'm just a little bit confused, yeah? So what you want to do is you want to be letting people know why you're putting the message out, where you're going. You want to lead to a higher purpose. You could talk about things all the time, but if you're not talking about where you're going or where you're taking people, people aren't going to really jump on board. People aren't going to be moved. People want to know vision. Most people don't have a life purpose. They don't know why they're put on this planet. They don't know what they're doing tomorrow or where they're going. They're just doing circles. But if you're congruently say, hey, we're going here. You coming? And I'm going to express going here on a different level. I'm going to come from this approach, and I'm going to come from that approach, and I'm going to come from there. And you do, and you tell people, okay, boom. So there's all these different paths that are going to take us to a higher purpose. And that's how we are going to change society, is by getting our message out, by getting in the right places. So be smart. What can be your magnifying glass of your story? Can it be media, the right media? Can it be, social experience? Or can it be TV appearances? Can it be that? Getting out there, expressing yourself. The whole thing with Tony Robbins, look where he's come from. Look what he's doing. Look where he is now. Yeah? Massive social consciousness. The social awareness of him is huge. And the impact that he's having is absolutely great. If there were more of us, which we're all able to, do what he started off as a homeless person. And then he was like, I don't even want to focus on that, because what you focus on, you become. Look at where he's come. We've all got a head start on a lot of people. Yeah. Look where I've come from. Look where a lot of people have come from. But the people that have I just need to, polish the trophy a little bit. Keep that into perspective. You all have a head start on a lot of people, but take advantage of that. So what I'm saying is, let's come together as a collective. Let's come together as a whole. Get our messages out to the world. Start in our environment, and then start with the people that we can come in connection with. I know it's like when people want their own privacy when you're at a cafe. Hey, how you going? But when there's the time to talk or to be able to say the right thing. When, you can just be that person. So be that person of light. Be that person of happiness. And let's start in our small environments, because then eventually they'll get big. I'll tell you something. I couldn't talk one-on-one to people, let alone 80 people. How many people's on the live stream? I've been on a stage in front of 20,000 people in America, 10,000 people at celebration. Not the celebration past, the one before. So what I'm saying is, you go on a journey and it will lead you. You'll be there. You keep putting out your message. And if you have the right energy, things will be put in front of you. You will find a way. If you've got the right if you've got the right strategy, you've got the right story, and you're telling yourself the right state, or you're in the right state, you will find a way. It's all got to do with that, people. So what I say is, share your message. Get out there. If you feel like someone's got that, it's that social consciousness. If someone's angry, if someone's violent, don't go and match them on the same way. Show them that there's a different way. Educate them to, hey, and where it comes from is communication. We need to start communicating to the outside world. We need to start communicating with others in a way to uplift them. Yeah, so if I could take away the whole hour what I spoke about, it's the way we communicate with others. If you can communicate every interaction or every sentence that you say to another person and it empowers them, then we are on a winning path. So social consciousness is that if you're going to be a higher beacon of energy, power, leader, you are going to have greater social consciousness. So you're going to have power, and anywhere you go, you're going to make a huge dent in the negativity, a huge dent in the evil, huge dent in the bullshit that the world is getting engulfed by. And trust me, not to say that you do it to get what you want. You put that energy out, the universe will match that, and it will give you everything you want. And not in materialistic things, but in, you help people out, people will come to help you, yeah? You put that energy out, and it's just putting a smile on people's face. And you know what means the most to me? Obviously seeing people transform. Seeing brothers coming from how they are and then when they leave. But when you get a message from their wife or their kids or just someone that they know and just say, hey, you know what, man? Well, not, they don't say, you know what, man? They say, you know what, Lee? What you're doing is amazing. You've saved someone's life. You've changed someone. You've done this, you've done that. I just want to say thank you. Keep it up. That is social consciousness. That person is consciousness of what you're doing. And I don't need it for significance. You don't need it for significance. But it's just say, hey, you know what? We're in a winning thing here. We're making a difference. Look at this person. But it doesn't just start. And the way you show up, and this is the key. This is another nugget, yeah? This is another cracker. If you have a tribe, if you have a brotherhood, if you have an empire, which you all, some of you already have, you have families and so on, if you want those people to keep evolving, you need to keep evolving correctly. So what I say is, as a leader, you need to keep evolving and rolling out the right way to keep people inspired, keep the creative juices flowing, keep people wanting to move forward and grow. So to wrap all this up, what I say to you all, we need to keep evolving just for not our own growth. There are a lot of people watching without you even knowing. Yeah? So let's come together. I'm not going to tell you what identity to be or what person to be or what to say and how to act, because consciously, but unconsciously, you have all the answers within. And what my job is for all you beautiful ladies and all you beautiful men is just to remind you. And I'm constantly come up and I'll constantly show up just to remind you that you have everything you need within you. So the more we remind ourselves, the more we'll be awoken and the more we'll be awake to be a better person, to change the lives and change the world on a social scale. Okay, so I thank you all for the time. I thank you all for your attention and appreciation. And I'm out of here. I'm going to get some food. My stomach is rumbling. So I'm Lee Bundy, the CEO of Team Beast Mode International, the messenger of strength and the truth. If anyone else needs some extra information, I know there's a lot of new people on here. If you want to know about what we do and how to take it on and how to keep it evolving, send me an inbox. Or my inbox has been going crazy. My cell is my phone. Thank you, live stream, for being on behind the scenes. Thank you, everyone, for giving me your time Monday night. I know it's 8 o'clock there now. It's 6 p.m. here. Just want to send you my love and come from a place that fills your heart up, yeah, fills your cup up. Don't do it because someone else says it or I do it. You know consciously what's right or wrong. And the world needs us. The world needs more positivity. The world needs more love and light, yeah? And you feel so much better about doing it. Send you my love and respect. Have an awesome night. Take care.